Love sells. How to get every homebuyer to fall in love with your house. I want to tell you a story about what it takes to get your home sold in today's real estate market. The first story I have for you is about creating break-stopping curb appeal. One day I was in a house getting it ready to be shown, and on the outside I had already done all the curb appeal necessary to get the buying prospects to slam on their brakes, come to a stop, and want to come inside. So what did I do? Well, I bought a few little birdhouses and hung them at varying lengths on the tree outside in the front yard, which already was absolutely adorable. Next, we also picked up an inexpensive bird bath. Then I went on my way to the local hobby store and I bought a glue gun and some little faux feathered birds. Are you following me on the story so far? You got it. I put glue on these little faux feathered birds and I put them around the bird bath, and then I also put one or two of them on the perch on the birdhouses in the front yard. Then when the people came by and I could see them from the inside of the house, they slowed down and they stopped in front of the house that also happened to have a for sale sign in the front yard. Well, here's what happened next. The wife and the husband are both staring at the birds on the bird bath and on the perch of the birdhouses. And you can see them talking to one another, going back and forth, and the conversation simply had to be, are those birds real? Why aren't they flying away? So before you know it, the wife rolls down her window. She's looking at the birds, then looking at her husband, and they're still talking about it. And so then she opens her car door ever so slowly because they don't want to scare the birds away. She gets out of the car, and I'm watching all of this from the inside of the house. She slowly goes toward the car. She keeps looking back at her husband. They're like having a great time about it. She gets all the way up to the bird bath and busts out with laughter, realizing that the birds are not real. That is fabulous. Break-stopping curb appeal, because from that moment on, they had an incredible experience and couldn't wait to add more and more to their current experience in order to fall in love with the house and put an offer in on the spot. Now, once you go inside the home, you have to continue the amazing experience. Say you have a home that's for a middle-class family and they have a few kids, maybe a teenager and a tweener and a younger child. You always want to continue the experience from the outside inside as well. One time I created a scene specifically for the tweeners because many times these are the kids that have to come with their parents even though they don't want to, but really they're not old enough to stay home by themselves. So we always create an experience for the kids that are tagging along so that they have something to do and enjoy while their parents look at the house. In this instance, we created a great little room set up for the perfect tweener that wanted to just hang out and be by his or herself. There were bean bags and teen magazines and some way for them to listen to some music and a sketch pad. So they had something to do and they were able to be entertained. And then they could listen again to the music. And then when they flipped open one page, it showed an advertisement for an iPod. And there was a little sticky note on it that said, free iPods to all the kids of the family that buys this house. Go tell your mom and dad. Pretty sneaky, right? I know what you're thinking. Oh no, that's too sneaky, Karen. But it's really not. Because on the next page, there's also a flat screen TV. And there's another sticky note that says, P.S. There's also a flat screen TV for mom and dad. So you can imagine that not only did the tweener go to bat for us, but mom and dad were pretty happy with the overall experience as well. You'll find these strategies, these techniques, these stories, and these experiences all in Love Sells, How to Get Every Homebuyer to Fall in Love with Your House.